Hello, my name is Ralph Shattock, Regional Market Manager for BG Products and a trainer at BG University. What I want to do today is show you the effects of saltwater corrosion and heat on the lubricants that we use in the present day. Okay? So what we're going to do for this is we're going to use the old Timken bearing machine, which we use for many of our products out there. This shows the resistance or the friction modification that is capable with different lubricants out there. Okay? Before I start, I must clean up the machine from the previous time that it's been done, that it's been used. For that, I use some carbon choke cleaner, part number 411, and some emery cloth, and a rag, of course, just to make sure everything is clean and that we've got rid of the old residual MOA or whatever we've used the last time to do it. Okay? Then I need some HCF spray, the BG product HCF, part number 498. It stands for Heat, Corrosion, and Friction. It's absolutely a phenomenal spray, but it's very underrated by most people. Okay? As a comparison, I've picked out one of the more common ones out there, WD-40. What does WD-40 stand for? Water displacement. And it was number 40 when they were doing a whole sequence of them. Number 1, WD-1, WD-2, they got to number 40 and decided that worked okay. So we're going to see how good is it as far as lubrication goes or water displacement. Okay? If it doesn't work as a lubricant on its own, it's not going to work with water either. Okay. So here's what we do. We have a bearing in here. When I start this running, and I push down on this torque wrench, the two metal surfaces come into contact, and they will then make a noise. And that noise that you start to hear is actually the bearing surfaces being torn apart. Okay? They are welding together and then tearing apart, causing a lot of wear and a lot of friction and a lot of excess heat. Okay? What I've also got here is obviously my torch to supply the heat source, some salt in this little cup, and some water. So we're going to make a nice brine solution on here to test it as far as saltwater restriction goes. I've also put my glasses on during the middle of this because I want to be protected in case there's any flying parts running around. If you don't wear glasses, wear goggles, safety goggles or something like that. Okay? So here's what we'll do to start. We set this running and we spray the surface so that now we have a good coating of WD-40 on this wrench. When I push down on it, you're going to hear a noise, and we want to see how far we have to go before we break through that lubrication and cause the two surfaces to weld together. My guess is probably about 25 pounds, okay? Because that's exactly what this would do with no lubrication at all. 25 pounds is all you're going to get, okay? So did the WD-40 actually achieve anything? Absolutely not in this circumstance. So let's do the same thing now. I'll turn this to a new bearing surface so that we're even about everything, okay? And then just run it quickly and remove the WD-40. Not need to do very much after that because it didn't do anything. Okay? Clean it quickly with the emery cloth to get rid of the sharp edges that occurred after the welding took place. Okay? And now spray with HCF, Heat Corrosion Friction. Saltwater resistant. Okay, you don't need much. Saltwater resistant, but it is also goes to a very high temperature, 550 degrees Fahrenheit, before it drips. So we're going to test it and see how good it actually is. So let's see what it does right now as far as lubrication goes. This is a spray grease. Okay, pretty good. I'm not going to stop it and weld it together, but you can see that was pretty impressive. Okay, what I'm going to do now is make some adverse conditions here. So we're going to test it with water. Remember, it's water resistant. It is salt water resistant as far as the claims go that we make. So let's put a little salt in there. Salt is very aggressive, it's very caustic. HCF spray, as it says on here, will resist caustic solutions, alkali, or acidic solutions underwater. So let's see what the claims are actually like. Is it going to work? Okay. Pretty impressive still. Now let's test it and go the whole hog. Okay. I'm going to call for my lovely assistant to come out here. This is Danielle Wallace, star of stage, screen and television, and she's going to apply heat to this bearing surface right through there to get it nice and hot. Remember, this grease will stay to 550 degrees. Okay, I'll apply some pressure to it. Okay. I don't know about you, but I think we proved a point there. Okay? We've now got salt water in here, which is very, very harmful to anything. Remember the Honda? Honda cars were shipped on board a ship, and any time that they were coming over on board a ship, because of the salt water in the air, they were actually getting a squeaking noise because they were the dampers were starting to corrode. They tried a lot of different lubricants. When they tried HCF spray, they don't need to look any further. You can see why. It's pretty impressive stuff.